FCT 2022 budget estimates 19 projects within the nation's capital and satellite towns. Social Development Secretariat leaves no stone unturned on street begging. And Lions Club International sensitizes public on medical checkup against diabetes. Hello and welcome to the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, has expressed deep sorrow over the death of the missing Vanguard newspaper journalist, Todo Salem, who was killed by a confessed hit-and-run driver in Mabushi area of Abuja. In a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary, Anthony Ogunleye, the minister condoled the family of Mr. Salem and prayed that God Almighty grants them comfort in this difficult period. He expressed his condolences to the management of Vanguard newspaper and the FCT Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. The minister also commended the Police Force Intelligence Bureau for its effort in unraveling the circumstance leading to the demise of the journalists and called on members of the public to promptly report all suspected criminal matters to the security agencies. He assured residents of the FCT administration's commitment to ensure the safety of all lives and property within the nation's capital. The FCT 2022 budget estimates target 18 priority projects, both within the Federal Capital City and the satellite towns. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello made this known at the budget presentation to the Joint Senate and House committees at the National Assembly. Shuaibu Noze Yakubu tells us more.
These 18 priority projects include the installation of solar street lights along various roads in the satellite towns, provision of water, road and electricity to the Shere Galui resettlement site, as well as the rehabilitation and upgrading of the street lighting facilities within the Federal Capital City. Others are water supply infrastructure to Karshi and the rehabilitation of federal government buildings. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello, while speaking on the performance of the 2021 national budget, says, as at date, the sum of 30.147 billion naira has been released, representing a budget performance of 81%. He advocated an increase in the FCT budgetary allocation, pointing out that the FCT should be considered as a national project.
We are now trying to link up Garki district with Aura district. That's a bridge that you go to Gudu, you will see a bridge. Go to the junction at Asokoro. We are trying to link up Asokoro of the Villa side and Asokoro of the other governor side. These are all projects that are ongoing. And if we are to get the right funding, I tell you, give 1 or 2 years. And this is how it is. And so really Abuja needs additional funding.
The issue of Babylon and the university profile also differs from the city center. And there are some that decisions are being reversed. Instead of the relocation, it was supposed to be integration. But the integration also failed, like in the issue of Garki. So where the integration failed now, you have to look at where we are sitting down to see, okay, what next do we want to do? And as you are dealing with the human component, you've got to speak with them. You've got to appeal also, to their consciences and the love of what they want to do. Vis-a-vis what is best that should be done for them.
Members of the committee commend the FCT administration for the 2021 national budget performance.
We as a committee have resolved to better the lot of all residents of the FCT by ensuring the full implementation of the budget.
Meanwhile, the FCT administration is to spend the sum of 64.861 billion naira for its 2022 national priority projects. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
And despite efforts of the FCT administration to tackle the problem of street begging in the FCT, beggars have continued to rise in population and are seen at public places and commercial centers. Deputy Director, Social Welfare Services of the FCT Social Development Secretariat, Sani Ame Rabe, revealed that the secretariat will not rest until the street nuisance is rid of the territory. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The enforcement team of the Social Development Secretariat apprehended over 50 street beggars and destitutes at popular commercial centers across the territory. One of them, Mrs. Aisha, says she's not a beggar but sells sachet water for a living.
Boy, I'll come UBA, come meet security, say, my name is boy. Tell a friend, I said, today I'll come. I'll tell her, I said, today is Friday. 8 times say, now a friend, they come today, they help me.
Although some of the beggars narrate how they made money from street begging and are commercial vehicle owners.
You see, he's taking care of where they are selling cars. Yes, he's the one buying the cars.
Acting Director, Social Welfare Services, Sani Rebe, appealed to traditional rulers and religious leaders to educate their members on the dangers of street begging.
The FCT administration, under the two ministers, the Federal Capital City Secretariat is sanitized of all destitute, all human nuisance, including drug traffickers, drug peddlers, drug addicts, child abuse.
Meanwhile, the enforcement team has also apprehended a lady with fake triplets at Kishiri Junction. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Now to health matters. Diabetes is one of the most common non-communicable diseases. Many people, however, do not know that they have diabetes until it's too late. That is why the Lions Club International District 404A2 had an awareness walk to sensitize people about the diabetes, which early detection can be managed. Safia Noma Uchi has the details.
Diabetes is one of the leading causes of death in the world, as at 2016, Nigeria has the highest number of people with diabetes with 3.9 million. This figure is projected to double in future inasmuch as it is the main cause of serious diseases like stroke, vascular dysfunction, different forms of cancer, and others. Early detection, it is said, will aid management.
Diabetes is not a killer, so to speak, but the idea is that if you know on time, you'll be able to eat healthy and do the right thing. The whole idea is this disease has to be eradicated if possible. Awareness has to be created. People have to know because it kills even faster than HIV or cancer.
How many screening centers will be there in Abuja?
10 locations in Abuja. We have Gwarinpa General Hospital, we have Asokoro General Hospital, we have Kubwa General Hospital, we have Lube PSC, we have Durumi PSC, we have Piwoi PSC, we have UN building. We are calling on members of the public to get to any of these locations that are close to them and get tested. Diabetes is a preventable disease.
From age 15, are free to come for the screening test, and it's free.
Since we are looking at diabetes this year, we look at science next year and see how we can assist our people to eradicate blindness.
Family history, lack of exercise, unhealthy eating, and overweight are risk factors that aid diabetes. And to have a healthy, productive nation, Lions Club International is urging Nigerians to live healthy, and it is never too late to prevent or manage diabetes. Safia Noma Uchi, NTA News.
Similarly, a free medical mission embarked upon by the Halal Children's Home to cater for the less privileged has held at Nasfam Mosque, Utako, Abuja. Rosemary Motalem Bilal reports.
The initiative became necessary according to the organizers because a few people have access to a basic quality health care.
Just make sure you do something about your health, especially exercise. It's fantastic I've lost a lot of weight. I was a lot fatter than this before now. So alhamdulillah, and I want to encourage everyone, please always ensure you take a walk, do some form of exercise. Helps you, even physically, mentally, you're good to go.
Beneficiaries thank organizers for bringing succor to them. Medical experts advise on the need of constant checkup.
We've seen a few patients with elevated blood sugar as well as elevated blood pressure, and some of those with the elevated blood sugar were not even aware before now. So importantly is we've advised they should check with their doctors. 2, we encourage exercise, and this program has incorporated exercise as part of it.
Halal Children Home is a non-governmental and non-profit making home which is keen on impacting lives, reiterated the objective of ensuring a healthy community. Many people troop to take advantage of the exercise. Rosemary Molteleng Bilal, NTA News.
Meanwhile, figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 12th November 2021, indicates 5 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 23,412, while active cases now 1,109, and the number of discharged cases stands at 22,080, and 223 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. Over 200 less privileged children from across the state have benefited from a back-to-school project organized by Qatar Charity Nigeria, a non-governmental organization aimed at encouraging knowledge acquisition. Asebetanimu Williams has the details.
The project aims to bring back children to school by applying the accelerated learning method to reduce the education gap for children using a special curriculum.
Today we have a special program for back to school to help our orphan with the school fees, with uniform, with school books or bags, to encourage them to continue the education.
We look at the society and the kind of economic hardship we are experiencing in Nigeria, so we feel like those that are less or poor people in Nigeria are those the orphans that we have in Nigeria. So we selected them and said that what can we do for them to uplift their standard of living and also to carry them on board, to feel like they are also part of the society.
For the beneficiaries, their joy cannot be contained as they say a few prayers for the organizers.
I am here to thank the Qatar Charities with the help they are doing for us, and may God bless them. I am very grateful. May God continue to bless Qatar Charities.
Guests at the event, one of which is the Emir of Suleja, Muhammad Awal Ibrahim, commended the efforts of the organizers and also called on well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the kind gesture.
Islam, we learned, put emphasis on knowledge. In fact, that was the first revelation. So there is nothing that will be too much to put in order to educate those that do not have the privilege of it.
The FCT administration has taken some proactive measures to improve the general well-being of residents of the Federal Capital Territory. One of such measures is in the area of upgrading of our skills acquisition centers, which is critical in creating a more equitable society where everyone lives with dignity.
Reducing the number of out-of-school children, particularly orphans, is one of the agenda of the Qatar Charity Organization, and also to give them a better life. Asabetanimu Williams, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. We now take some messages. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
There will be unlimited joy in over 5,000 homes every day this season in the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza. 5 cars every month, 100 generators, TVs, and fridges every week. 5,000 free airtime and data winners every day. Simply recharge up to 500 naira during the week to qualify. Dial star 611 hash now to enter the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza.
Glad to know you're there. To ameliorate the suffering faced by indigent widows, the ladies of St. Mulumba, Nigeria, has so far built 18 houses for widows in different communities. This was disclosed at the 43rd Annual National Convention of the Association in Abuja. The details. This group of people constituting the 9 metropolitan councils and sub-councils of the ladies of St. Mulumba, Nigeria, are women of like minds that have taken charity as a lifestyle and have given succor to the less privileged in their immediate communities. They have gathered to profile ways of making their impact felt in all the geopolitical zones of the country. The Auxiliary Bishop, Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja, Most Reverend Anselm Umore, urged members of LSM to be holy in their dealings.
We exhort them to aspire to be holy, love one another, and help to make the world a better place.
The noble president, Ladies of St. Mulumba, LSM, Lady Meg Anuzia, says the group will continue putting smiles on the faces of the less privileged.
If you can't help your fellow human being, why are you serving God? We are into skill and empowerment, and we empower our women, and when we give them money to start up something. And this is all we have been trying to do to help.
They want our country to also emulate what we are doing, because it's not that we have, but once we identify somebody who is too poor and being chased out of a house, or who is naked, we go about begging to get a shelter for such people.
Award of excellence and selfless service were presented to some people who have contributed immensely to the success story of LSM.
The world will be fulfilled if we all try to be at the same level. Being in the same level means that you have to use your scarce resources to better the lots of those who are not opportune.
For me, it's an honor, and I take it with every sense of humility.
The Holy Book says to please God fully, we must develop kindness as a permanent part of our personality and way of life. This makes it imperative to cultivate the quality. In this special report, Sharon Igali takes a look on how people show this act to others whom they interact with every day.
You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, shine your light for it.
Kindness is displayed by taking an active interest in the welfare of others. It is shown by useful acts and considerate words. To be kind means to do good rather than to do anything harmful. But how do some feel when an act of kindness is denied to them?
To me, if you know you are not going to fulfill your promise, you don't need to. But when you fail me, believe me, I'll feel bad.
When I was coming to this market, I met one kind bike rider who, when we were unable to locate where I was going, he took his time, went round with me and did not collect anything.
Kindness seems to be a golden rule. However, it takes real strength to be truly kind. Reverend Philip reiterates the need to be kind to others in order to bring peace and harmony in the society.
If you show kindness, as we are encouraged in the New Testament, it will not be an eye for an eye. And when there's no eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth, the society ultimately will be better.
Islamic scholar re-emphasized the importance of kindness in life.
Give trust. When those who are on top, they are kind to people who are down, naturally there will be love, there will be peace, there will be trust, there will be security. And if friends and friends are able to show kindness to each other, you are considerate in your thinking, you are considerate in your action, you are charitable in your relationship, you will see that the community will become, nobody will like to go to live the other one. Things that are also involving charitable. For example, like the Prophet ﷺ said, if you are walking on a road and you see something that can hit other people, you remove it from it. He says it's an act of kindness. It's also a charitable thing.
Therefore, kindness is not only giving gifts, it includes compliments with a co-worker or a friend, reaching out to family members you have not spoken to in a while. So, mistaking kindness is a weakness that causes one to condone wrongdoings. Meanwhile, if you can't find kind person, be one. Sharon Igali, NTA News.
Every employee is expected to plan his or her retirement during the time of service and not to wait till after retirement. This was the counsel of the Director, FCT Area Council Staff Pension Board, Nanzing Indeng, in an exclusive interview with yours sincerely.
Retirement life should be such that will change one's lifestyle for good, as it goes beyond living service to living in prosperity. Pension Reform Act provides payment of pension after attainment of 35 years of service for all contributors under the defined contributory scheme. 8% of the employee's salary is deducted and remitted, along with 10% of the employer's contribution, which makes it 18% of total salary of the worker, as stated by the Director, FCT Area Council Staff Pension Board, Nanzing Indeng.
This money goes into the retirement savings account, and at the attainment of 50 years or whatever age after that, the officer can access the money in respect of a lump sum and a payment of a pension monthly.
Nanzing Indeng says government is looking at social protection for pensioners and expect them to plan and invest their accruals.
Plan ahead of time. In fact, not only for retirement alone. Whatever you want to do, you must plan. You know that, okay, you are retiring in the next 1 year, next 2 years, next 5 years. No one needs to tell you that before now you should have a livable place, not a big mansion, but a habitable place. Then you should know that you should be able to understand your health status. Even if you are given 20 million, you are supposed to put it in a soft investment that will bring income for you in terms of salary that you are used to continue to enjoy.
He further revealed that PENCOM has put up an argument at the National Assembly to the fact that pensioners should be paid in lump sum so that they can invest in businesses that will better their lives.
Talking sports, Nigeria thrashed Liberia 2-0 in the World Cup qualifier in Tangier, Morocco. Details with Ahmed Abdurazak on Sports Brief.
Odion Igalo reported to the Super Eagles training camp in Tangier, Morocco late because he had to take a second jab of the COVID-19 vaccine at his base in Saudi Arabia. Igalo joined the Eagles camp Thursday afternoon and trained with his teammates for the first time on Friday. Also, Super Falcon Barcelona forward Assis Allah is a doubt for the country's final round of the qualification series for next year's Women African Cup of Nations after suffering an injury that could rule out for 2 months. Hurricane scored a first hat-trick as England roamed towards the 2022 World Cup with a 5-0 thrashing of Albania, but Italy still have work to do to reach Qatar after a 1-1 with Switzerland. Meanwhile, Angel Di Maria's goal on Friday put Argentina on the verge of qualifying for the next year World Cup in Qatar, as Lionel Messi was on the bench for the 1-0 win away to Uruguay. More so, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has been named as EA Player of the Month for October, with Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel taking the manager award. Salah scored a hat-trick to inspire Liverpool to a 5-0 win over their rival Manchester United and netted outstanding individual goals against both Manchester City and Watford. With Sports Brief, Ahmad Abdurazak, NTA News.
And before we go, do remember to take your COVID-19 vaccine and adhere strictly to safety protocols to keep safe. And that concludes the news at 7. Thank you for watching. Good night.